Welcome back everybody to the channel. It's me, Alejandro Mendoza, or the Nerdy Chicano. Either way how you say it, it's all good here. And we're back again for another video as we look at another film in my collection. I'm back with some physical media content, and I'm very happy to be starting it off again after this wonderful March Around the World challenge that I did last month on the channel. So today we're just going to look at another film in my collection as I go through some of these Blu-rays for you all. And today I'm going to be talking about Paolo Sorrentino's The Great Beauty on Blu-ray from the Criterion Collection. Of course, if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss another review on this channel, and of course leave a like on this video as all of that helps me out so much. If you want to lend an extra helping hand, I do have a Patreon set up over at patreon.com/TheNerdyChicano, where you can get early access to videos just like the one you're watching right now, along with other cool stuff like video essays and exclusive reviews just for my patrons. Of course, it is not mandatory, but it is appreciated. Either way, you can go ahead and keep supporting by liking the video, watching it, subscribing, and all that wonderful stuff. I'm just happy that you all are here. But of course, if you want to go ahead and help on Patreon, you can. Now, let's go ahead and get into this film. First off, I'm going to read this introduction from Criterion on the back of this Blu-ray. The Great Beauty. For decades, journalist Jep Gambardella has charmed and seduced his way through the glittering nightlife of Rome. Since the legendary success of his only novel, he has been a permanent fixture in the city's literary and elite social circles. But on his 65th birthday, Jep unexpectedly finds himself taking stock of his life, turning his cutting wit on himself and his contemporaries, and looking past the lavish nightclubs, parties, and cafes to find Rome itself in all its monumental glory, a timeless landscape of absurd, exquisite beauty featuring sensuous cinematography, a lush score, and an award-winning central performance by the great Tony Servillo. This transporting experience by the brilliant Italian director Paolo Sorrentino is breathtaking Felliniesque tale of decadence and lost love. Of course, included in this director-approved dual-format Blu-ray and DVD special edition is a new 2K digital film transfer approved by director Paolo Sorrentino with 5.1 surround DTS HD master audio soundtrack on the Blu-ray. New conversation between Sorrentino and Italian cultural critic Antonio Monda. New interview with actor Tony Servillo. New interview with screenwriter Umberto Contarello. Deleted scenes, trailers, new English subtitle translation, a Blu-ray, and 2 DVDs with all content available in both formats, plus a booklet featuring an essay by critic Philip Lopat. And of course, this comes in at spine number 702 in the Criterion Collection, and this is the front of the packaging. This is the back. This is the spine, and then you just go ahead and open up the digipack. This is the front, this is the back, and then the spine. Open it up and you have this booklet. This is from the booklet. This is the back. Tony Servillo is right there in the front of the booklet, and then you have some stuff here. Cannot show that. That will definitely get me in trouble on YouTube, but casting credits right there. And then you have an essay written by Philip Lopat called Dancing in Place, and this is that. And of course, as I always like to find, you have the transfer notes, production credits, and all that stuff right here on the back from the awesome opening scene from the film. And then of course you have your Blu-ray disc right here, and then both DVD discs right here. And then the back is just this amazing look at Rome. That's the packaging of this Blu-ray. Now let's go ahead and talk about this film. So this is the second time that I've watched The Great Beauty. First time, of course, on physical, but the first time I watched it was for an undergrad class in my university, and I loved it. I thought it was a fantastic movie, and not much has really changed. I think that this is an incredible film from Paolo Sorrentino, who is a director that I really like, and I've grown to really love this film and his other film, The Hand of God. I think that this movie is as modern, as much Fellini as you can get in the modern times, and you really indulge in the absurd, lavish feeling that you find within films like La Dolce Vita. And this really does provide a very introspective look into our character by Tony Servillo. It's an incredibly filmed movie. Like, it looks incredible. I mean, the cinematography is fantastic. I love the lighting, and especially the angles that the cinematographer chooses. The score is incredible. I think that the performance from Servillo is incredible as well. Definitely one of the best performances of that decade. And it's really held up by this momentous direction by Sorrentino, who really provides this immense look of absurdity and excess, and the way that it affects a man who is contemplating his role in his, not just his life, but his role to his art and the role to the community that he inhabits. It's one of the best Italian films you'll ever watch. It is very much deserving of that Academy Award that it won, and it is a movie that I constantly go back to because it really does bring out the feeling of a Fellini film without being done by Federico Fellini. And it is really hard for you to do that, especially in a modern time where that is a little bit harder to replicate in the cinema that we are working with now. Now let's talk about the transfer. So I watched The Great Beauty on my Panasonic 4K player on my TCL 4K TV, and I listened to the audio straight from my TV speakers. I have to say, when I first watched this film, it was on a projector for class, so it really wasn't that impressive, right? But now watching it on my TV with my 4K player, upscaling it from 2K to a little bit higher, I have to say it looks really good. I especially love the vibrant lighting that is used, and that really does showcase itself within the transfer of the film. It has a lot of very vibrant colors that are popping out a lot, and I also think that the contrast is very sharp and very high, so it really does showcase well on my TV. I'm quite surprised that we don't have a 4K of The Great Beauty out yet. I think that this movie probably looks really good on 4K, but for 2K on this 4K player on my 4K TV, I can't really complain about much. I also can't really complain much about the audio. I think it sounds really good. Everything is balanced. Of course, I can't listen to that 5.1 surround sound soundtrack because I don't have that type of technology for my setup, but I think it works really well for what it has. And I think that the dialogue sounds clean. Nothing sounds like it's hissing or scratched or, damaged. Everything sounds really good, and they did a great job at transferring this over to Blu-ray. It looks fantastic. It sounds fantastic. It's a great movie, and you do have a good amount of special features. So that's nothing. That's never a bad thing when it comes to these releases from Criterion. I highly recommend you pick this up, especially if you're a fan of Italian cinema. When those sales come out in Barnes & Nobles and the flash sales, this is pretty much just $20. So for $20, you really are getting a good amount for your buck. And I think that this is a fantastic film with a fantastic transfer. To keep up to date with me on all things social media, make sure you follow me at The Nerdy Chicano on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Letterboxd, Serialized, and on Twitch. I'm the same handle on all of those. Of course, we could also use your help over on the Nerdcore by checking us out at thenerdcore.com, and our Twitch, Kick, and YouTube is at the Nerdcore. We're the same handle on all of those. Go and check out our podcast. We've been doing a lot of great stuff over there. We could use your viewership. For now, my friends, that's all I've got. But of course, I have really enjoyed doing the challenge last month, and now I'm getting back to my physical media content. So I'm really excited to go ahead and talk about these films and these videos for you all. But for now, to all my wonderful cinephiles and renowned scholars, celebrate the love of cinema today, tomorrow, and every day after. Catch you all in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.